Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the VR League. It is time to move on to our next matches. The upper bracket finals here for the North American playoff bracket. And once again, this is going to be one of our two matches that will decide a team that goes through into OC5. In this case, it'll be Eclipse versus 11.5. The winner, once again, moving on into the main event next month. The loser will have one more shot going up against whoever makes it out of the lower bracket.
Yeah, we joined the two teams from EU, which qualified earlier on today with Blast and Gravity. Fortunately, Aftershock didn't make it through, but not sure how the seeding broke down of that one between 1 and 2, since we did have to switch over to North America, but DJ Nike was covering that one, so hopefully... Well, I mean, the series technically still could be going on right now if they did have the bracket reset happen and went full 5 both ways. But I'm assuming that one's over by now. But we have those two teams, and we're going to find out now who the first team from North America will be joining them is.
Absolutely, and we're going to be diving into that in just a couple of seconds. They've been waiting for a while. Had this match pretty much ready to go for the last hour or so. So these guys have definitely had plenty of time to brace themselves for it. It just comes down to the end of the day. Can Eclipse be beaten, specifically online, as it seems like their record remains nearly flawless in online matches going up to this point. So it's just, the matter of whether
They've only ever struggled against European teams.
It seems to be, it seems to be the case.
Yeah, in the finals last year. And then the regional, not the regionals, the invitational we had in July. Where Blast took them almost the entire way. Actually, technically, I think we did go the entire way. Then Eclipse was able to come back and win. But again, this is the team that's the best in the world. It's the team defending their title another time. It's going to be Simeon, Lemming, and Palador up against Dash, Wit, and Loveridge.
So let's get into it, guys. The launch is out. The joust has begun. An initial control. Ooh, he's going to go dangerously over to Eclipse. They've got a 2v1 up against Dash. No way he was going to be able to survive that, especially with how annoying the other player was being. So Simeon secures the opening goal for Eclipse, and that'll put them up early in the round.
Yeah, we've known Eclipse as being the team who generally wins most jousts, and you're seeing what can happen right there with that fantastic score. I think it was actually Dash who was coined, if I'm not mistaken, one of the best defenders. Wasn't it Dash, right?
By his teammates, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that because I remember during the Invitational, because then we saw that video where they said that, and then like he proceeded to get scored on like 8 times in that round. So I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. 11.5 though with control. Looks like Dash gonna go for a big pass over to Loveridge. Again, look how aggressive Simeon and Lemming are being.
Loveridge has control right now. Ready to send a pass over to someone else. He's going to send it backfield a little bit. Dash will take possession of it for right now on the back lane. He's got 2 options for the pass. Fortunately, number 51's not so apparent to him, so he sends it back to Loveridge instead. And they're going to try to wait a little bit before giving it to Wit. That waiting comes back to bite them, though. Lemming sneaks directly up onto Loveridge, takes the disc away, and they are immediately going to pounce upon that, starting to shift their players to the other side. Just can't really get anyone into a good position, though, so Wit takes it right back and is going to send it over onto Eclipse's side of the map.
And no one here to defend that if it potentially did go in, but the rest of Eclipse do make it through. Let me know. For a pass off. Let's go for a clear. As they all, just look at the mini map. They all like group together to make sure to get here in time. They're gonna charge straight into this. Fortunately, not able to catch them off guard. I would imagine Simeon's gonna be the one to secure the disc another time here for Eclipse. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. And it seems like Eclipse have had generally control of the disc for a majority of this time.
The float back now. As 11.5 got to look for a quick recovery, considering that all 3 members of Eclipse are bearing down upon them. Nice little pass goes to Loveridge. He doesn't have anyone to work with her to try to get this down the field more quickly, so Eclipse are pretty much always going to beat them in any type of race between the two teams here. For now, though, 11.5 are doing a good job of maintaining control of the disc and, more importantly, just wasting time off the clock here. If they can score a 3-pointer, this will be great for them. But that's the problem. They haven't actually been able to get this close to the goal just yet. Eclipse are doing a fantastic job of applying pressure and constantly forcing resets from 11.5. But adversely, at the same time, Eclipse hasn't had the best track record of actually trying to get aggressive themselves. This could be changing right now, though, with a nice clear. It's time for the race once again.
Yeah, it will be won by 11.5, though. As you can see, them able to recover the disc. But again, the disc isn't going to be enough. They need to get some points on the board. Or Eclipse could potentially win 2-0, which would be, honestly, I think a shutout, considering... Or no, sorry, really well done by 11.5 to limit Eclipse to 2 points only, considering we've seen Eclipse multiple times score 20 points or more in the Invitational we had in July. So he picked up by Simeon, and that was a great bounce off the backboard.
Made it look like as well he's going to try to go for a direct shot, but instead goes off the backboard, sights out the goalie a little bit, and with that, catches him off guard to secure the second goal for these guys, putting them up 4-0.
You ever seen the movie Basketball?
No. I've heard
It's
of
with
it.
Trey Parker and who's the other guy from South Park? Matt Stone?
Matt Stone.
Yeah. They made a movie about basketball, which is like baseball and basketball together.
Yeah.
Where there's like bases and stuff like that. And they do like these psych outs, which are like these jokes to make the other person mess up when they're shooting. And when you said like psych out, I was thinking exactly that. Because that leads me to the whole open comms thing, you know?
Oh, you could start messing with people?
Yeah, getting each other's heads.
Yeah. It's always fun in puppy games in this game. That's for sure.
Okay, well, 11.5. This game, I mean, considering... Well, okay, funny enough, even though it's like basically the #1 team in the world, we've had a lot of time just being ticked off the clock here. Like, I was expecting more goals for either side. I was expecting Eclipse to actually be scoring quite a bit more than this, but they're playing a lot more slower. Maybe giving more respect to 11.5.
Even more interestingly is the fact that 11.5 is the one who's doing the time wasting more often than not, which I found very interesting. A lot of it is, as we see another kind of scrappy goal attempt being made by 11.5 there. It goes unsuccessfully. A lot of the delay is kind of forced upon them by Eclipse, but it's don't get me wrong, it's when 11.5 had possession, so they, in theory, should still have control of the pacing of the game at that point, but it's not being allowed to have it because of how aggressive Eclipse is being, even when they're playing defensively.
Well, they have control. They don't have control. Like, they have control because they have the disc, right? But also the time's taken away, so like their hand should be forced out of the clock alone. But they haven't really been able to get off successful shots. Wick comes in, though, and just as I speak about successful shots, we'll just put up a big 2 points here for 11.5. But now this is where it gets worrisome for me. Eclipse is going to have control of the disc right off the bat.
Had to bring it down to a 2-pointer, unfortunately, in the process of that, though. So they are also going to be at least another full goal away from being able to tie it or take the lead away. Launch is going to be coming out in just a moment, however, as you said, with Eclipse starting on possession, which means 11.5 have got to do overtime, be able to not only steal the disc away, but then try to score one more time before the clock runs out here.
Wasn't it Lemming that always paces the time, or is it Affenter with his hand?
What do you mean?
Because there's a player who always like timed it with his hand, the countdown.
Oh, I've seen a couple do that. I don't remember which.
Just thought I saw it there, but I wasn't sure.
I don't remember which one, though.
Okay, well, Eclipse did have the start of the disc, but it didn't look clean at all. And Simmons gonna bait in a player, try to pass it up downfield.
They've got a 11.5 kind of split up right now, though, and I feel like that's pretty advantageous to them.
That's a free score.
Yeah, this could happen right here.
Oh, no, the punch. Whoever just came swinging by or just dashing by them just punched them and actually saved themselves a potential shot, potential 3 points. But it's still not done just yet. The disc's still in the hands of Eclipse as they're dragging out the time. This is one of the teams that's actually very smart about the clock, and they realize, they're realizing now, like, you have to come to us. As long as we spread out, if you look at the mini-map and just keep passing, then there's nowhere you can take this back, and there's nowhere you're going to score against us anymore.
And so possession picked up by Lemming over to Palador.
This is what I was saying earlier. I was so frustrated by some teams who like kept attacking. Or who like didn't like just try to drag the time out, because you're not going to be able to beat the best if you're not able to be aware of that. You're seeing Eclipse right here. They know they can score again, but they also know they can just hold the disc from you for 25 seconds, and then if you do get too aggressive, they can score, or they'll just drag out the time. As long as you don't miss a pass, which with players of their caliber, they're not going to, it's an easy win. It's an easy situation to play from.
So they push it ahead. 4-2 is the final score of the opening round, ladies and gentlemen. Eclipse will take it, setting them up. Remember, again, we switch back to best of 5 now. These are qualifying matches. So with 2 more wins, Eclipse will claim the first North American slot at OC5, which once again is going to be going on at the end of September next month.
Yep, still got this best of 5. We got the loser bracket final for best of 5, and then we have potentially 2 more best of 5s after that in the grand finals, where there will potentially be a bracket reset if whoever the loser bracket team is can beat the winner bracket team in the first series. So potentially a lot more Echo Arena, to come today. Let's read Echo Combat in chat because people were apparently playing it over the weekend.
It was a beta weekend, I think that's why.
And of course, if you guys do love some VR, we have some Onward happening next week, or this weekend, 24th and 26th. We'll be covering the qualifiers for Oculus Connect 5 for that game.
And that should be starting, I believe, if memory serves me correctly, around the same time that these streams have been starting, and that would be at 7 p.m. European time, 1 p.m. Eastern US, and 10 a.m. Western time, I believe.
Not bad. Not bad.
I think I did that all right. That is if we're starting at that
Well, you know who also did all right? Eclipse here, because Simeon just scored another 2 points there off the initial joust.
I didn't realize we started, but there we go. Yeah, quick start, it would seem, for Eclipse, as they're going to take the joust, but the opening score.
How many more of these am I going to get in tonight? I feel like I've been doing a fairly good job.
You've been doing this. That's like your 4th or 5th one right there.
I think that's... No, I think it's way more than that.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Really?
I want to hear you get one in.
I'm not as witty. That's my problem. So I'm not as good
I'm not witty, though.
I'd have to think about it. Well, you're wittier than me.
I'm just like taking like one of the last things you say and then coming up with a sentence to involve it in the game.
It's true.
You know, it's not true. Yeah, exactly. That's all you do. You know, it's not true. Eclipse having control of the disc here because 11.5 have been able to take it off the start. See, that's all you do. You just, you play off that.
Right.
So your turn this time.
Well,
I'll give you something.
You know, we're going to be playing off of here as Wit getting a pass over to Dash.
Where'd you get playing off from?
We're working on it. We're working on it.
So you have to take like one of the last things I say.
That's what you did say. You said play it off here. And then I said, we're going to be playing off here. Yeah. No, you said.
Okay, we'll try again. We'll try again. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Well, you know who else is going to have to try again here? It's going to be...
Yeah, it's not bad.
See, you're getting there. It's going to be Wit having a reset
you can't laugh
for
in the middle of it. You have to
11.5.
commit to it, you know?
Yeah. I lost it.
I know, speaking of committing to 11.5, you need to commit to a goal here.
You're just bouncing off your own words now. That's not fair. You created that opportunity for yourself.
If it helps, I didn't actually think it through when I said it at first.
Gotcha. Well, possession's going to be set down the field a little bit. We do have a bit of a tussle between the two teams, but it ends up going in the favor of Eclipse. They kind of just, by circumstance, slap it into the goal, giving themselves an additional 2-pointer here to set them up at 4-0 now over 11.5. Still only with about a minute gone from the round, though, so of course, plenty of time for 11.5 to find a way back into this. Yes?
So into the next volley, 11.5 with control. We got some fans watching us outside the studio now.
Oh, do we?
I just hope they don't go streaking because that would be weird. I'm surprised it hasn't happened at an esports event yet, you know? Where just a random fan just goes streaking like across the stage. Because it's really easy to get on stage. Like people don't understand the security at events is really scary sometimes.
I've had people like rush the guy interviewing. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah. And like I've seen DreamHack once they got on stage, if I'm not mistaken. It was Stunna just like knocked the guy out.
Yeah, it was ESL1. That was the last year.
Someone ever did that to me when I was interviewing. I would like literally knock them out. I never punch him, but just like clothesline him.
Stunna literally like pushed that guy to the floor. Apparently, like he ran after that. Like he was like, "Oh no, I'm not messing with that guy again."
Well, I feel like 11.5 should be thinking that shouldn't be messing with Eclipse anymore because it's 6-0. Nailed it. Yeah,
7 out of 10. I'll get that one. With Palador securing the most recent goal, Eclipse now well into the lead, such as before. And we've got 11.5. Again, with possession. Sadly, that hasn't really meant much, unfortunately, for 11.5, though, as they haven't been able to come close to lining up a lot of goal opportunities for themselves. This could be a change-up, though. Nicely shot by Dash, just as I was talking badly about their scoring capabilities.
You had your opportunity right there. Speaking of lining up a goal.
We do see Dash securing a very nice shot himself. That immediately puts 11.5 back in the game, as with 3-pointer, and just 1 to 2 more goals away from taking the lead themselves.
Not bad. All right. Yeah, 1 or 2 goals. It's exactly right, Blue. Thing is, we've not really seen 11.5. What's the first? We've only seen him score once in each round. Because it was 4-2 last game. Now it's 6-3 this game.
They got 2 last game.
No, they didn't.
It was 4-2. Yeah.
Oh,
no. Oh, yeah. I was thinking of it the wrong way. Never mind. I think I was thinking of another game. So, yeah, no, you're right on that, actually. Apologies.
Sorry, what was I?
You're right.
Yep. That's right.
You know who else is right? Eclipse, as they're winning.
See,
I'm trying too hard.
Backwards now.
That's the problem. I'm trying too hard.
Your first was all right. Now it's just getting worse.
Well, let's go back to regular casting for now. As we've got Eclipse with possession for the time being. Palador with the pickup sends it over to Simeon. Does have the option to transfer it to Lemming as well. He's going to wait for the timing on that one, though, as it does get Dash out of goal position. Only 1 player remaining to interfere with them. Lemming floating himself around the roof right there. Some good offhand movement coming in from him to be able to do that. Pass going to be a little bit panicked, but it goes to Simeon. And actually,
that was pretty.
Yeah, nicely done. I thought it was a pass at first, but no, it ends up being a goal attempt. Potentially by accident, as it allows for Eclipse to score again.
Oh, that was a straight up pass to Palador, and then he grabbed it and just immediately went like that.
Oh, it's okay.
You can't see it, but I'm doing this on camera.
I missed the pass then. Or I missed the handoff. I thought it went directly in.
Did you hear what he said? You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing this on camera. Yeah, that was
very descriptive.
That was really cool. Yeah, I was doing this.
Now everyone's wondering what it is. Probably no one, actually.
I don't think anyone's wondering.
Yeah.
And they saw it. You know, they don't need to imagine what I'm doing to know what they saw. But no, that was really well done. We've seen actually a couple times out of them, to be fair. Because I think we saw even Affenterra do it earlier on today in their match versus Blast. 11.5, we make a great shot out of Wit. Gets into 2 points on the board. Finally able to respond. Only 12 seconds of time, too, most importantly. So maybe Eclip's getting a little bit too cocky here.
Probably some good timing coming out of that one on Wit. Had to wait for the perfect chance when Eclipse's goalie was going to overextend, and that's exactly what ends up happening there. Waits for him to do that, and then flings the disc right to the inside of the goal there, secure another 2-pointer for themselves. 8-5. Another 3-pointer away from tying this back up. They've got to be careful, though. They get too comfortable here, they might lighten up their defenses, and that's exactly when Eclipse is going to swing in with a quick 3-pointer. So they cannot let that happen.
I'd imagine they continue to play that kind of style where they play really slow attacking, where they pass around a lot unless they're able to beat them in like a 1-for-1 or force a 1-for-1. You see Lemon again being smart instead of trying to force the situation, just backs off, waits for his teammates to get there, will pass it off what he needs to, and they're already dragged away about 20 seconds off the clock. And if they continue doing this, like 11.5 are going to be really struggling. Look at this, he doesn't need to do anything. He literally doesn't even need to move. He's using the clock to his advantage because they have the score lead, and that's what I was harping on so much earlier on. Now they had a free shot too, which unfortunately didn't go in, but they're just showing the mastery of like the situations. So smart.
Didn't have the best angle to take that shot, I think, which is why he tried to do it off the backboard, and then given the angle, it actually ends up working against him because of the way that he shoots it. So no clean attempt there from Eclipse just yet, but they still got possession. Another quick run around, and oh man, who was that?
I think that was
Lemming, right? Yeah. Lemming's going to be feeling bad about that one, though, because thankfully he's got another run at the goal in a second here. He's going to have to go for the pass instead over to Simeon. Simeon as well, still using the offhand to try and float around his opponents. Just barely gets rid of the disc in time to send it over towards Palador once more.
Minute they've taken off the clock now, just on this play alone.
It's perfect. They just have to hope this doesn't come back to bite them in a major way. So obviously 11.5 could get it away from them and try to run for a quick 3-pointer as well, which there's the steal to make it happen. Dash will have the pickup, sending it back through mid. Excuse me. Now where's the follow-up? See, there's that hiccup.
Couldn't hear it, but he muted his mic and said, gosh darn it. 35 seconds left to go. 11.5, like I said, they need that 3-pointer. They're going to have possession of the disc here in a second. But can they hit the 3 points when it counts? Palador sitting back. Or sorry, it's Lemming sitting back on the goal to defend against it. But their passes, like, look at this. Like, now because there's no time left, the pressure's on them, and they're making so many mistakes in their play because of Eclipse taking advantage of the situation. 14 seconds left to go. They have to make this final push. This has to be their final chance to tie things up and go in overtime.
Can't be interrupted by Lemming here on the front lines, and thankfully it's not. Leverage gets possession of the disc and is now going to try to move himself forward. Has to dodge it. There's the opportunity, but no, their offending player was not able to get it in time. They even had another run at it there right at the end, but they couldn't piece it together. So Eclipse takes the second round as well, and it's another very close contest, 8-5 being the final score, and we have at least one more round to go here as well, since Eclipse lead 2-0. Remember, guys, again, best of 5 that we're playing out here. So with one more round, Eclipse will punch their ticket to go to the main event at OC5.
And like, even if 11.5 scored there, it would have been 2 points with 3 seconds left. Like, it did not matter if they blocked that or not, as long as they didn't allow the 3-point to get in. Like, thing is, it can be so frustrating to go up against that as the other team because you want to attack, like you want to play the game, so to say. But you know, I'm never gonna knock Eclipse on playing this style. Some people might call it, you know, like cowardice, you know, like cowardly playing. There's money on the line here, son. Like, it was like $2,000 for like 4th place. If you win this match, you guarantee yourselves like a minimum of like $2,000.
Which I think Eclipse are probably going to get more than 4th place.
Yeah, of course. So I don't care how they're playing. They're playing smart. This is how you should play, you know, Echo Arena. When you have a lead, you don't need to be super aggressive. You don't need to keep scoring and scoring and scoring. Like, you know, cool, you can put up 20 points. Great for you. I care about the team who plays smart in these situations. And when you're up by 3 points and there's 2 minutes left, they took a minute and a half off the clock by playing like that. And then when you saw 11.5 get control of the disc, they messed up. They fumbled the disc constantly because they had no time left to make their attack work. They had one chance, and that's all they had.
And they forced them to panic once they finally get this possession.
So anyone that ever like speaks badly of the way the Eclipse are playing, like, rearrange your life. Like, come on, that is so smart out of Eclipse. And when there's that much money on the line and a trip to San Jose, California for Oculus Connect 5, like, come on.
All right, guys. Well, let's see if 11.5 are going to have any will in this fight whatsoever. It's not really the phrase I was going for, but I'll float with it. Eclipse as well, only one more round win away now from punching their own ticket. So let's see if they can do it in the 3-0 sweep against 11.5 or if there is some fight left in these guys after all. Once again, a 1v1 to open it up, and unsurprisingly, it'll go the way of Eclip. Simeon first on the board for his team with a quick 2-pointer in the first 8 seconds of the round.
I will say this, by the way, because there's people in chat talking about it. Within the current confines of the game, I think what they're doing smart. I would never say no to like a shot clock being implemented. As in you're only allowed to have possession of the disc for like 30 seconds before it has to trade hands. Or something like that.
Yeah.
So that way you can't stall for those long times.
The problem with that is you could still pretty reliably, like at least in Eclipse's case, you could still pretty reliably just like toss it between teammates. In fact, that's what they were doing.
No,
so,
but as in like if your team has control of this
I thought you meant like one individual player. Okay,
then it has to be handed off or something like that, or they get control and it resets or something for the next volley.
Yeah.
That I'm fine with. All I'm saying is that in the current confines of the rule set of the game and what's available, they're playing so smart that I could never say a bad word about it.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to make another run at goal right here. Just to re-secure that advantage, having to be a little bit cautious with it because there is a full matrix of defensive setup right here from 11.5. All 3 players set up inside of the 3-point zone. One is going to overextend, bringing that defensive matrix down to just 2. They try to pierce it, but it's not going to work out too well. 11.5 gets the block off. They're not done fighting defensively here just yet, however. They needed to find a clear, and that was it right there. But unfortunately, again, they're just too slow to get together their regrab launch. So we are going to see the players from Eclipse beat them to the punch way ahead of time, and they will get their own possession back to make this run again.
I wonder when Eclipse has like 2 minutes left and they have a lead if they're going to go for the stall tactic again. I think it'd be a smart play. Like if they have like a 4-point lead, why not go for it? Because you can let 2 goals technically go through and still be fine. 11.5 though, going to get control of the disc, go for the clear. And also you have to think about, the mental game of this. Like if you're stalling like that, if you're up against them, how infuriated you must be because you just can't get control of the disc ever against them unless you let them go for a shot.
You just can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
More than anything.
So then then they're going to be even more frustrated. They're going to make even more mistakes, and it's a smart thing to do. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that as Eclipse game plan for OC5 unless something gets changed because it wins you games.
Very much so. And once again, we might see the guys from Eclipse start to implement it if they can put together one more goal, but they're going to have some interference being run against them. A lot of aggressive pressure from Eclipse right now. They need to bring it back. Actually, no, Lemming, what is this? They steal from each other's hands like 4 times in a row. And that will eventually change hands over to Eclipse after actually 11.5 came out with it at the end of the day. Dash will quickly get it before it passes the midpoint threshold. He's going to get stunned out immediately, but here's the problem. These two have to quickly race together. And once again, they are immediately on top of the disc carrier, stealing possession away and sending it past that midpoint, where they're not just going to try to go for the outright score. In fact, one of the members of Eclipse has hitched a ride at 11.5, taking them all the way to the other end for free, where they've now got all 3 players here, and Simeon will be able to secure a goal again, now putting Eclipse up to 4, and there's only about 2.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and now they have that tipping point of, do they want to stall? If they get control of the disc, are they going to go for that same route again? I would hope to see it, honestly. I feel like every team should be going for this kind of play because there's like no downside to it. Like, yeah, there's obviously the downside if you miss a pass and they could score on you or something like that, but you should be able to pass pretty reliably in these situations. They have to go to like a one-on-one man kind of coverage, and even then you're still going to have the extra man because you're the one attacking, right? You have that third person where they have their third in the goal. So it's just, there's no reason to not use it. It's smart, but will they have an opportunity to? Is the real question. Will they be able to get set up for it?
So pick up by Lemming. He's going to take it back the other way. Really just releases it, not trying to pass it to anyone at this point in the game. However, that is going to open up the floodgates for 11.5 to get possession themselves, sending it back to their goalie, Witt. He's going to be able to stop this, float forward a little bit. As you can see there, he did have Simeon on his tail, so to quickly get rid of it there. The pass so far working out all right. Dash will now take possession away. A bounce back over towards Witt to let Dash move a little bit more forward here. He's immediately going to come under pressure. However, at least we are going to see Loveridge take that pressure in this case. Dash will now get the possession back over to Witt one more time. Tries to make a shot for goal, but it's going to be blocked out by Palador, who sends it right back the other way. And we've immediately got players from Eclipse trying to take advantage upon that. Really only one here for Eclipse right now. I was about to say, yeah, if he could solo run this in a 1v2, that would certainly be impressive to say the least. But not going to be happening. 11.5 do manage to get him out of the way. And again, will clear the disc from the immediate threat of their goal line.
Yeah, but time is now dwindling very low. A minute 30 left to go, and they're still down 2. And in most cases, a minute 30 be like, oh, they have tons of time. But against Eclipse, who's put up such a good defense and has been so good on attack, a minute 30 can be run through extremely quickly. So now finally 11.5 on the attack. Finally pushing across the halfway point, looking for a potential shot. See, again, the pass comes in, misses. Lemming picks it up, and now he's got like free reign. You can probably pass it to the teammate there, and he can make an easy goal.
Let's see. Here's the pickup. We do have one player on defense setup right now. The other two are on the way, but they're floating in way too slowly. This is nice block actually coming in there from Dash. In fact, he sees that coming. The problem is he's been stunned out now. And yeah, as you mentioned as well, Wit, another player, moves in for the 11.5 roster to save the day here and stop Eclipse from scoring once again. But we're under a minute now. We still need at least 2 points scored by 11.5 to be able to get themselves back into this match right now and try to take it either to OT or just outright tie it, or excuse me, just outright give them the lead so they can win this round. They're going to have to make this run right now. It's time. It's running out a lot quicker than they can seem to put together goals.
Why are they not shooting? Like, you have to go now. You have 20 seconds. They're going to have control of it. You saw what they did before. Finally, okay, they get 2 points. That's good. They get a start. But now they have 21 seconds to get the disc out of the hands of Eclipse and score again. Eclipse wasted a minute and a half of your time in the last round. What makes you think 20 seconds is going to be enough now? I'm not saying they can't do it, but they have to pull off something amazing, and they have to do it right now, or they're going to be down to the loser bracket. Just combining both at once.
Well, let's find out what that strategy is going to be for 11.5. As the launch is coming out here right now, like you mentioned, Eclipse is going to start with possession. So let's see how 11.5 plans to get it away from them. An immediate launch, all three players shooting to the other side of the arena. Quick pass. They do try to do man-to-man coverage on 11.5, although it's not too successful. The disc is still loosened to the other side of the arena. Half the time is already gone now. Less than 10 seconds remaining here. 11.5 still only having just a floating man to go across the arena. Wit passes it over to Loveridge. There's no way they're getting close now. Just a Hail Mary shot from them, and it won't even come close. The round concludes 4-2 once again, just the same way that the first round played out, and Eclipse, with them taking it, win the series 3-0, qualifying them for Oculus Connect 5 as our first representing North American team to be there.
So now we know 3 of our 4 teams, Lou. Now we have to find out who is going to be our 4th and final team in the lower side of the brackets. I'm refreshing on my side real quickly just so we have a teaser of what it's going to be.
Don't have a result from that other match.
It's going to be, yeah, okay, so it's going to be the winner of Metamercs versus Omegadors. So now it'll be up against 11.5 for their shot to be the 4th and final team, as well as the 2nd team for North America to represent their region. And obviously, we do have to have probably a little bit of a wait until that happens.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So we're going to take a short break in between the matches here, but when we do come back, as he was just saying, it is going to be 11.5 taking on the winner of another match that's going on right now between the Metamercs and the Omega Tour. Stick with us to find out who that 2nd team will be representing North America at Oculus Connect 5.